The Chancellor has introduced a significant additional fiscal squeeze in this emergency budget. Roughly speaking, he's talking about a fiscal squeeze building up to £40 billion a year by the end of the Parliament. Now, of that, he's got about £8 billion of net tax rises, particularly the VAT increase. But most of that additional squeeze is coming on the spending side. So he's got £32 billion of additional spending cuts. Now, you need to bear in mind that 40 billion additional squeeze is on top of more than 70 billion that the previous government had already announced. So we're talking about a total fiscal squeeze of about 113 billion pounds over the next 4 years. So that will be a huge dampener on the economy, but we think it's probably necessary because the structural budget deficit is so large that that kind of tough medicine is really needed. Well, if there's a fiscal squeeze of over £100 billion, that's obviously going to take demand out of the economy. So it does mean, we think, that there's only going to be a gradual recovery over the next few years. And in fact, we broadly agree with the new forecasts of the Office for Budget Responsibility when they say that growth this year might be about 1% or so, maybe a little over 2% next year, and then picking up a little further to about 2.75% after that. So by historic standards, that's a pretty slow recovery, but I think when you're having to absorb this degree of tax rises and spending cuts, that's probably the best that we can hope for.